and welcome back to my channel. Let's begin. Okay, let's do some practice questions for HANSWORS. Nummer 1. Waaraan laat die gedig se titel jou dink? What does the title make you think of? You cannot say clown because HANSWORS means clown. So you have to say what it makes you think of. You can also not say your fears because that's just some of us. It is the circus. Nummer 2. Haal een woord aan in strofe 1 wat sê dat die HANSWORS 'n gebrek het. So the word gebrek is disability. No, you have to quote one word from stanza 1 that says that the clown had a disability. The word is bochel, it means hump. Nummer 3, watter woord in strofe 1 sê dat die HANSWORS se gebrek nie aangenaam was om na te kyk nie? What word in stanza 1 says that the HANSWORS, this clown's disability was not nice to look at? It's the word afsigtelike of afsigtelik, which means hideous or ugly. Nummer 4, gee een woord wat daarop dui dat sy ruggraat nie reguit was nie. So one word that shows us that his spine was not straight, and that's the word kromheid, so the bent in his spine. He was crooked, he had a crooked spine. Nummer 5, wat laat jou dink dat die HANSWORS verneder gevoel het? What makes you think that this clown felt embarrassed? You can quote, I don't think there is a quote specifically in here. No, the quote, if you wanted to quote, I don't know why I have quotation marks at number 5's answer. But if you wanted to quote, you could have said, hol vernyn, bitterder was hol vernyn. That bitterder is the bitterness he feels because of their words that they say, their malice. And that makes you think that he was maybe possibly mocked the entire time, and that makes you feel embarrassed when you are mocked. Nummer 6, verduidelik waarom die spreker van bochelrug praat eerder as kyfose. So explain why the speaker rather speaks about a bochelrug, which is the humpback, rather than the word kyfose, which is kyphosis. I never know how to say the English version of it. It has to do with the fact that your bochelrug is a negative word, definitely. It's a word that you would mock somebody with, rather than saying that this person has a disease. Kyphosis isn't a nice thing, and I don't think back in the day it was really well known that was what caused these humpbacks. I think people just decided that these people were evil and different than everybody else. Nommer 7, haal 'n versreël aan om te bewys dat die HANSWORS in pyn is as gevolg van sy kyfose. So one line that shows us that he felt pain or he endured pain because of his kyphosis. It is as sy vergroeide ruggraatpyn. So ruggraatpyn shows us that he has pain in his spine. Okay, verwys na strofe 2, question number 8, 8.1, waar het die HANSWORS sy tyd graag deurgebring? So where did the clown spend his time? Tussen die diere in 'n hoek of by hul hokke says that he spent time between the animals at their cages. At 8.2 they ask you, watter tegniek word gebruik om bogenoemde te beklemtoon? So which technique do they use to emphasize where he likes to spend his time? And that is inversie. Inversie is when we shuffle our stompie word order in order to emphasize certain words. So when you look at that sentence, it starts at line 5. Tussen die diere in 'n hoek het hy die eensaamheid gesoek. If we reshuffle it according to stompie, we need our subject first. So we have to start with hy het die eensaamheid tussen die diere in 'n hoek gesoek. That means they shuffled it in a specific way so that the where, the place, tussen die diere in 'n hoek is placed first. So therefore it emphasizes it. 8.3, haal die versreëls aan wat suggereer dat hy eerder sy tyd sou deurbring as tussen mense. So here they want you to quote the lines from the poem that suggest that he would rather spend his time there than with people. So if you quoted the entire sentence, that's great, from line 5 to line 6. But the word they're actually looking for is the word gesoek. You can't put it all alone because then it's not really answering the question. But the word gesoek tells us that he was searching for loneliness. He chose to be lonely rather than to be amongst people. Why did he do this? Because he was trying to avoid the hurtful words and mockery of the people. Animals did not mock. Number 9, waaroor skinder sy kollegas en ander mense in strofe 2? What are they gossiping about in stanza 2? They are gossiping and wondering about his salary. What is he doing with his salary? Because when they look at him, his clothes are torn and tethered, and it looks worn and old, and they wonder what is he doing with his salary. Number 10, haal een woord aan om te bewys dat hulle neerhalend oor die HANSWORS praat. So neerhalend means to speak down on, or to have a very bad way of speaking about another person, looking down on them, thinking that they are less than. And that word is vent. Vent means wretch, and a wretch has a negative connotation to it. Nommer 11, waarom kan ons sê dat versdeel 7 en 8 'n retoriese vraag is? So let's look at 7 and 8. Met klere wat gedurig gaar is, wat doen die vent met sy salaris? That is the question in inverted commas, so that is the people's direct words. It's a question they are asking. How do we know that this is a rhetorical question? Because the people are not waiting for an answer. They're not really interested in his reasons, and they don't ask him the question. They ask the question amongst themselves, which means they will probably not get the correct answer anyway. Nummer 12, gee 'n synoniem uit strofe 2 vir die woord stikkend. Stikkend is broken or torn. So give us a synonym out of stanza 2 for the word stikkend, and that word is gaar. Okay, nummer 13, strofe 2 en 3 verwys albei na die dierkratte. So in stanza 2 and 3, they both refer to the animal cages. First, where he says that's where he goes to find his privacy, where he goes to hide. And then the second one, that is where he goes to read his letters. So tussen die diere in 'n hoek in stanza 2 and stanza 3 by die dierkratte oor en oor. Why does he go there? That's question 13.1. Waarom vlug die HANSWORS daarheen om weg te kom van die mense se bitsigheid? Why does he flee towards the animal cages to get away from people's malice? Now, what I answered here does not really answer the question. It says that he wants to get away from their malice. We know this, he wants to get away from their malice. That's why he is going to the animal cages, but there's more to that. He goes to the animal cages specifically because there's no people around, and animals don't judge, animals don't mock, animals, they don't have anything to say, so it is safe to be amongst them. 13.2, dink jy dis 'n goeie manier om sulke pyn te verwerk? Do you think it's a good way to work on the pain or work through the pain? This is a do you think answer. So when you look at mine, this is my opinion. You can have a yes answer there if you will, but I said no because he is secluding himself even more by hiding from people, and therefore he is creating another problem, which is loneliness, which will make the pain even worse. 13.3, wat sou jy in die situasie doen as jy die HANSWORS was? What would you do in the situation if you were the HANSWORS, if you were the clown? Please, you have to answer this question, but please keep it within context of the poem, and don't be weird. Don't answer weird things like you'll kill them all, or I don't know, you'll let the animals loose, the lions loose and make them eat them or something like that, because your marker will not find that funny, first of all, and secondly, your teacher will be worried if you say you're going in there with an AK-47. So please be careful in the way that you answer these questions. 14, daar is 'n retoriese vraag in strofe 3. Wat lei tot die mense se kinderstories? So there's a rhetorical question in stanza 3. What leads to their gossiping, to the people's gossiping? So in stanza 3, we've got a second rhetorical question. The first one was about his clothing. That was always tethered. What is he doing with his salary? And the second one is, would there be anyone else? So meaning, is there really someone somewhere that cares for him? That's the rhetorical question. But what leads to the people gossiping? They know nothing about this man. They wonder about his salary. They wonder if he's got somebody in his life, because they can see that he actually receives letters, but they don't do the effort to go to him and get to know him. 14.2, wat is die funksie van die retoriese vraag in die versreël? What is the function of the rhetorical question? It emphasizes the fact that they are wondering, but nobody does anything to try and find out the truth. 14.3. Dink jy dit is so ongelooflik dat iemand met 'n gebrek familie of vriende kan hê? Do you think this is so unbelievable that somebody with a disability could actually have friends or family? Your own answer, but please be sensitive towards people with disabilities because you never know who is marking your paper and who they have in their life. Always be sensitive in your answers. Nommer 15, haal 3 opeenvolgende woorde aan wat aandui dat die briewe wat die HANSWORS ontvang het vir hom baie belangrik was. So 3 consecutive words showing that he really appreciated the letters that he got and it was very important to him. And those words are oor en oor. It means he read the letters over and over. Okay. 16. Hoe gereeld het die HANSWORS 'n brief ontvang of gepos? Gee een woord, so you have to give one word to show the regularity in which he sent or received a letter, and that word is maandeliks, which means monthly. Now number 17, verduidelik die verskil in die gebruik van die dubbelpunt in versieel 6 en 11. There is a difference between the use of the colon in 6 and 11. However, I need to first show you the similarities. If you go to line 6, you will see that you have the colon at the end of line 6 and then line 7 starts with direct words. Line 11 ends with your colon, line 12 starts with direct words. So both of them have direct words. However, line 6 also gives us the reasons after the colon why he is hiding away between the animals. So that's the difference. Line 11, it's not an explanation or giving you reasons about why he's reading the letter over and over. No, reading the letter over and over gives them cause for gossip. So that is the difference between your two colons. Nommer 18, die HANSWORS het klaarblyklik gedrink. Hierdie stelling is waar. Bewys dit deur na die gedig te verwys. The clown probably drank. This statement is true. Get something from the poem or quote something from the poem to substantiate your answer. And the answer is ewige reuk van drank, ever-present smell of drink. 19. Dink jy sy kollega sou hartseer wees as hy die sirkus sou verlaat of iets oorkom? Motiveer jou antwoord. Do you think his fellow circus people and his colleagues would have been sad if he ever left the circus or if something happened to him? Motivate your answer. It's your own answer, ladies and gents. You can refer to the poem where it says that they won't even miss him, but you can put in your own words here because they did ask you, dink jy. Nommer 20, verduidelik die betekenis van die onderstreepte woorde aapagtig, firmament, takelwerk en klouter. So you have to explain the underlined words. So aapagtig is like an ape or like a monkey. Firmament is high up in the air. It's also in the English firmament. Takelwerk is, where's that? Die dak van die tent, so that the high section right at the top of the tent where there's wires and beams and stuff. And then rondgeklim is another word for klouter, which means to climb around. Nommer 21, waarom is die HANSWORS se toertjies waarhalsig? Haal 2 opeenvolgende woorde aan om die vraag te beantwoord. Why do we say that the clown's tricks are waarhalsig, risky? Quote 2 words, and it has to be consecutive words to substantiate your answer, and that is dood uittart, so he is tempting death. Nommer 22, verduidelik waarom die HANSWORS as 'n wonder in die sirkus gesien word. Why is this clown seen as a wonder in the circus? He's not afraid to climb all the way to the top, even though he has a disability. He climbs up to the top, he does his tricks, and he makes people laugh. 23, verduidelik waarom die sirkusbaas die HANSWORS as 'n bate sien. Why does the circus owner or circus boss see the clown as an asset? He is bringing in a lot of people to come and watch the circus. He does really death-defying stunts. People pay to come and see this man, this disfigured clown, and people may laugh at him. He is somebody to gawk at. There's quite a lot of reasons, but the main idea here is that he attracts people who would spend money, and therefore the circus sees him as an asset. Nommer 24, waarom dui die gebruik van die woord bate? Waarop dui die gebruik van die woord bate in versieel 22? So what does that word barter refer to? Why do they use that specific word? Barter is an asset, so it means that there is an income coming in, so it's money. It also shows you that the people only see him as an asset, as something that brings in money instead of a person. 25 bespreek die kontras tussen versdeel 14 en 22. Onthou om na albei kante van die kontras te wys. So you have to discuss the contrast between line 14 and 22 and remember to refer to both. So let's look at 14. Nie een sou huil as hy bedank, and line 22 says, nog deur die baas beskou as bate. So line 14, so his colleagues would not miss him or be sad if anything happens to him. He is not part of the circus really. He's not been accepted by the circus community. The people do not like him. But line 22, his actions still make sure that there is a profit to be seen by the circus, and therefore there is a contrast. So they don't want him there, they don't like him there, however he is the one that brings in the money. 26, daar is 'n duidelike wending in die gebeure in die gedig. There is a definite turn in the story of this poem. 26.1, watter woord in strofe 5 dui die wending aan? So which word shows you the change? It's the word to. 26.2 verduidelik die funksie van die ellips aan die einde van versdeel 23. So you have to explain the function of the ellipse at the end of line 23. So this shows us, and this is a very important question, your ellipse is normally that people are wondering, it's a time for a pause to think. However, here it is a change of place and time. If you read the poem again, after the ellipse, first he was still at the circus, then a letter comes one day, ... then he changes place and time because he goes home to his mother where she dies. I forgot to say also that ellipse emphasizes the importance of the letter. Apologies. 26.3, wat het gelei tot hierdie wending in die gedig? What led to this change in the poem? A letter arrived one day. 26.4, haal een woord uit strofe 5 aan wat daarop dui dat die HANSWORS langs die vrou se bed gehuil het. So one word from stanza 5 to show us that the clown cried next to the woman's bed. It's the word verblind, which means blinded. So he wasn't blind, he's blinded by tears. 26.5, watter bewys is daar dat die vroukie sy ma was, so which evidence is there that this was his mother? First of all, by her word, she says, thank you, my child. And secondly, bochelrug vroukie shows us that she has the same disability that he has, and kyphosis is a genetic condition, so it's passed from parents to children. 26.6, waarvoor dink jy het sy hom bedank? So this is a you question. This is my reason. What do you think she thanked him for? She thanked him for the money that he sent every month. He suffered through all this malice of people and the gossip and not being liked and being laughed at in order to send money home for her to survive. 27, daar is ironie in die gedig. Die HANSWORS het nooit sy geld vir homself gebruik nie. There's irony in this poem. This clown never used the money for himself. 27.1, wat het die HANSWORS alles verdra ter wille van sy ma? So what did he have to endure in order to support his mother? People mocked him, they were quite malicious, they gossiped about him, they had contempt for him, and because he wanted to get away from all of that, he secluded himself, which means that he also endured loneliness. 27.2, wat is jou mening oor die mense, sy kollegas en die toeskouers se behandeling van die HANSWORS? What is your opinion about the people, his colleagues, the people looking at or watching the circus and how they treated the clown? This is your own answer, but you have to refer to colleagues and the boss and the people that watched the circus. There you go, guys. Good luck. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you've got any questions, you can follow me on Instagram at Afrikaans Classroom. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos, like and share.